Today I'm with the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick, and it's got a couple different engine options, from a turbo like this one or a hybrid model, and I'm going to show you which one you should maybe go for and take them for a test drive so you get a good idea of which one would work best for you. If you want to see more details, full reviews of everything on the interior and the individual vehicle itself, be sure to look in the description, because I've been able to spend a week with this turbocharged one and a week with the hybrid. So look in the description below. But let's talk about what's under the hood. Now, the standard engine option under the hood is actually the hybrid, which is what we have right here. The hybrid, it's not a plug-in hybrid, it's just a self-sufficient hybrid. It's got gas engine, it's got electric motor, and a battery to manage everything. It's a 2.5 liter four-cylinder with an electric motor for 191 total horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque, but it's only front-wheel drive standard. So if you want all-wheel drive, you're going to have to go for that turbo model, and this gas tank's about 13.8 gallons, so you've got pretty good range in here, considering you can get 42 miles per gallon in the city and 33 on the highway and 37 combined. Towing maxes out at 2,000 with the hybrid, but if you bump up, obviously, you can get more with the turbo all-wheel drive. Now let's look at the optional engine, which is under this one. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost turbo engine, and it's going to give you 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. This one comes with an 8-speed automatic. Front-wheel drive is still standard, but all-wheel drive is optional. All-wheel drive is only available with this turbo engine right here. And towing for all trim levels, standard, is going to be 2,000 pounds with the hybrid, but if you get the towing package with the all-wheel drive turbo, then you can tow 4,000 pounds. So if towing is a priority, you're definitely going to want to move up to this. Regardless, 4,000 pounds isn't a lot, but it's more manageable, and with the towing package, you can get a trailer brake controller, a transmission oil cooler, a little bit more 7-pin wiring harness in the back, so you're a little bit more prepared for towing if you go with that towing package. All right, y'all, let's get behind the wheel of the turbo engine first. So there's going to be a big difference in the way the turbo and the hybrid powertrain operate in terms of acceleration mainly. My main impression with this is that it feels pretty smooth. I mean, there's a decent amount of punch with the turbo. Let's get just a little pedal down. There's a little delay there. The transmission has been smooth, but there's definitely been a little turbo lag, and that's kind of expected. But I mean, let's just get straight on pedal down here. It'll get you up and go. This is actually pretty punchy. I mean, 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque for this small of a vehicle, not too bad. Not bad at all. The handling is going to be more or less about the same, so make sure to keep that in mind. But overall ride comfort in both of them is a little bit stiff, but compared to like the Ranger or compared to body-on-frame vehicles, this is quite pleasant. I really don't have any complaints with the ride comfort. It's going to ride a lot like a car or SUV, and it's about the same size lengthwise, just a tad under the Ford Explorer. So parking this, maneuvering it, it's not bad at all. One difference that you'll see in the hybrid versus a regular gas engine in any brand is braking. The hybrid braking has a different feel to it thanks to regenerative braking. But the biggest thing is this comes with all-wheel drive available. So I mean, front-wheel drive is with the hybrid and this one, but this is optional with all-wheel drive. So it depends what's important to you or what you need. Now, coming to a stop, this does have the auto stop start system. You can shut it off with a button down there. The hybrid will do that anyways on the go at any time. So the auto stop start system can be kind of annoying, but the hybrid has a completely different system because of its hybrid components. And this 4-cylinder turbo is definitely peppy. I mean, if power is what you want, you're gonna wanna go for this turbo. In fact, it's coming to a stop on a little downhill. Let's get a pedal down. And you could really see that turbo like that right away. But it gets you up to speed quick, especially like in-town driving, passing power. It's really, really quite good. Now let's move over to the hybrid. All right, y'all, now we are behind the wheel of the hybrid model, and there's a big difference in terms of how they feel. So first impression with the hybrid is that it's quiet, because some of the times you're gonna be just in EV mode, and it will tell you that too. You have an EV coach or an EV meter that shows you when you're kind of charging, regenerative braking, electric mode, or full-on hybrid mode, where you have gas and electric. With the hybrid here, you don't have to drive differently. You don't have to do anything differently at all. It just does what it needs to on its own, shifting between electric power, gas power, or both. And it charges the battery on its own. You don't have to plug it in. It's definitely not nearly as peppy as the turbo. Let's go ahead and, let's see, I'm gonna put it in just normal mode here. Normal mode, pedal down. So the big difference there is you don't have to wait for the turbo to kick in, but you don't have nearly as much punch as you do with the turbo. You get a little bit of electric power right off the bat, where you can kind of feel that. But then the gas engine kicks in and you've got decent power. It's not that bad. It's totally doable for most people in town. The horsepower for this size of a vehicle is okay. It is front wheel drive only though, and when you're going around corners or you're really getting on it, you can definitely tell. And you don't have the all-wheel drive traction factor if that's a big deal for you. In terms of ride comfort and handling, it's pretty much the same. I mean, I'm sure the battery pack adds some weight and lowers the center of gravity a little bit, but I can't tell much of a difference. I think the ride comfort is still really good. They've got the same size wheels, basically the same vehicle, just different powertrain setups. So either way, you can't really go wrong in terms of the ride and handling with the Maverick. Now in the hybrid, one thing to note, when I let off the gas, it shows me that I'm charging because it's regenerative braking with your wheels. You're recapturing some energy to charge the battery, and then when you get on the accelerator, it goes through an electric mode and then a hybrid mode, just depending. So for example, just a little bit of acceleration here, I'm in electric mode, just kind of maintaining my speed, no gas engine at all, just pure electricity, and it's really quiet. The one big difference between the two is the braking. Aside from acceleration, the braking, because you have regenerative brakes on this hybrid, which make it feel a little bit different. There's a mode where you go from regenerative braking to friction braking, and there can be kind of a jerk, kind of a jolt, and it's just a little bit different feeling. Let me put this in sport mode. Sport mode gives you the most of the electric power and the gas power. The gas engine's on, and we're ready to go. There was 60. So the turbo is going to give you quite a bit more punch, obviously. So if that's important, you're going to want to go for that. This still gives me decent power without, you know, feeling like a slug on the interstate. I've passed some people on the highway and it's been plenty good with get up and go. I'm honestly totally fine with the power plant here. I just wish this could have all-wheel drive. But let me tell you what kind of efficiency I'm getting. I'm getting 36.9 miles per gallon right now over 223 miles. And I've done quite a bit of highway driving. I drive on the highway and interstate to work, and that is better than I expected. Most of the time I've actually been getting about 38 miles per gallon until I started romping on it just a little bit ago. But that's very impressive. Now to wrap things up and compare the hybrid and the turbo, which one would you personally go for? The hybrid is definitely going to be more efficient. I've gotten better efficiency with this hybrid than it's even rated at without really even trying, and you can definitely do better if you really want to. If you need some towing capability, you're going to want to go for the turbo. If you want something real punchy, you're going to want to go for the turbo. If you want all-wheel drive, you're going to need to go for the turbo. And they both have driven pretty smooth. I hope you got a good idea of that. It really just depends what suits your needs the most. But if you want to see more detail between the XL and the XLT, I have full reviews of both of those pickups. Be sure to look in the description below. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.